All right, Miles, let's move on to the Bengals. Like, this was a Sunday. There was a lot of crazy games, a lot of back and forth games, a lot of big matchups. This game with the Bengals against the Cleveland Browns was one of the quieter matchups. The Bengals handled business 23-10 over the Cleveland Browns. This is a big division win for Cincinnati. And I think it really shone the line of how they could be so dangerous in the future. Not a lot of people are talking about the Bengals right now after this big win, and frankly, they should be. But I know you got some thoughts on this game, Miles. But before I hand it over to you, Bengals fans, Who Day Nation, let us know in the comment section below. Give us your MVP for this gutsy, tough, grinded out division win. Look, it was really a dominant win, I felt, over the Cleveland Browns. So this was obviously to get a dominant win. You need to have a lot of guys step up and be big time performers. Give us the number one guy that you think shone bright today against the Cleveland Browns. All right, Miles, give me your thoughts out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, Nick. So, obviously, we could say the defense was MVP of the day. Because what if I told you Nick Chubb held to just 2.4 yards a carry? That's
Good.
pretty impressive. We all know Nick Chubb is an incredible running back, one of the best in the NFL by far. And even with Deshaun Watson in, he's supposed to be the savior. He's supposed to make this offense run a little bit smoother. They were only able to score 10 points on this Bengals defense. So good for the Bengals. I'm really liking that for them. But Nick, obviously, the worry here with the Bengals is, obviously T. Higgins banged up going into the game. I don't believe he even really played at all today. And Tyler Boyd injured his finger, I believe. He is out for
Yep.
the game. He left the game early. So somebody's got to step up, Nick. And who's been doing that all season? None other than Trenton Irwin, fan favorite. The Bengals have been talking about him forever now. He's been stepping up the last couple of weeks and showing what he's made of. He got activated to the active roster. And today he got 2 catches, caught both of them for 58 yards, a touchdown, the long 45-yard touchdown. So he's really answering the bell today. That's kind of the theme of the games today. People stepping up and answering the call. But I really like the emergence of Trenton Irwin. It kind of reminds me of some guy that emerged earlier this season for the Bengals and Samaje Perine, who when Mixon came out, he came out and had a phenomenal game. And today he had a pretty good game as well. 4 carries for 22 yards. It's 5.5 yards a carry for a touchdown. So, Nick, what do you think about these new guys for the Bengals just kind of stepping in and showing they have depth and can play anything?
Oh, it's huge, right? Because going into if you go back to last year, right, the Bengals were not basically a Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow big play machine. That's a lot of what they were riding on, right? And this year, it's been kind of the opposite. Obviously, Jamar Chase had a big day today. I'm not discounting that, but they battled through a lot of injuries, of course, with Higgins, Boyd. Remember, Hayden Hurst is banged up too,
Yeah.
right? So they have a lot of weapons missing from this offense. So getting a guy like Irwin to come in and step up, one, obviously getting the win is huge and staying tied with the Baltimore Ravens atop the AFC North, but getting that production and knowing you can rely on a guy because there will be opportunities, whether just by matchups or potential injuries, in the playoffs or in the end of the regular season coming up here, where you're going to need your second tier guys to come up and have big moments. And Irwin showing he can do that is going to be huge for Joe Burrow and the Bengals because there will be potential opportunities either towards the end of the season or during the playoffs where they're going to need a guy like Irwin, where they're going to need P. Ryan, come up and have a massive play or have a big day overall. And the fact that he showed it again today, that flea flicker touchdown was executed perfectly, proves that the Bengals are once again a legitimate contender and could be a terrifying force in the AFC.
Yeah, Nick. And I just think the Bengals all around the ball looking good. Obviously, you see a guy like Logan Wilson, linebacker, got like 17 tackles today, so he has
Insane.
the nose for football. But I want to look down the stretch for the Bengals. Obviously, at 9-4 now, you got to have playoff in your sights. You got to think about what's coming down the stretch. So you got Tampa Bay, who will can be tough. You don't count them out, but I think they should handle that one. You have the Patriots who are going to play you tough, especially defensively, but you should win that one. But you end the season with Buffalo and then Baltimore. So I think you got a tough stretch, especially the last 2 games of the season are going to be tough. And, you really can't rest anybody because you're in that tight race with Baltimore for the head of the AFC North. So it's going to be a brutal stretch going down the rest of the season. But I believe that the Bengals have the firepower to win at least 3 out of the 4 last games, and they'll easily make their way into the wild card matchup there.
Oh,
So,
oh, for sure. I
yeah,
know. I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but
mm,
yeah, I think the game of the year potentially, the way it's shaping up right now, maybe Ravens Bengals Week 18. I'm really excited for that one because that's going to be hopefully a healthy Lamar Jackson. We saw how good the Ravens looked today on defense running the ball against hopefully a healthier Bengals team. That's going to be one heck of a matchup, the season finale to potentially decide the AFC North. But the Bengals, they have a tough stretch, like you mentioned there, but I really like their playmakers. Credit to Coach Taylor, by the way, for keeping this team together and keeping the game plan together with all these injuries. So again, a total team win, but let's focus on some of these young guys stepping up, making big plays as they head toward a crucial slate of games coming up.